Well, I think it's a cool new project for me for a lot of reasons. I think, number one, WWE is my home. It's my family. It's in my blood. So, to be able to do something with them is always fun, whether it's in a WrestleMania appearance, Raw appearance, or, something like this where it's a little bit more behind the scenes and EPing. Something like this. And another reason is, music is one of my anchors. It's like my soul. And I love music. I'm inspired and motivated by music, so many genres. And so to be able to executive produce this was a lot of fun. And plus I also knew that, when you look at my playlist is really, really diverse. And it's so diverse, it's like, I think a psychiatrist would love to dissect it and understand why. But I did know that the tracks I was choosing was tracks that hopefully would get everybody fired up, right, for the experience. But also, these are like my tracks that I train to. So there's a really deep personal daily connection to these tracks. I have so many memories of the soundtrack, Boys in the Hood, right? So I just remember when that came out, I was down in Nashville, Tennessee at that time, going to high school. Our high school back then, we had a black band. So during those football games, halftime, that black band was like just banging, and they would bang on that Boys in the Hood. And it was cool, man. And that was a time also where I was 15 years old and I was going to school in Nashville. And everybody thought I was an undercover cop because I was already like 6'2", 6'3", 240. And I had a cool porn mustache. So, hey, life was good. I think probably the newest track that I put on the list was Mayday, who is a real artist he comes out of Strange Music. Is one of my favorite labels, if not my favorite label, right? Created by my boy Tech Nine, who is arguably, I don't even think arguably, I think factually the most successful independent hip-hop artist of all time. The best thing about Strange Music, and for example, like a guy like Mayday, with those guys, it's not about, especially in hip-hop and hip-hop culture these days, it's about flash, and it's about bling, and it's about paper, and it's like making it rain, and showing all your stacks. These guys actually go the opposite way, and they keep it hardcore, and they keep it about the work, and they keep it about being, and they keep the beats, and how they produce things like really. So there's this guy, Mayday, and he has this track called Last Man Standing. And for me, it just speaks to me, and it speaks to my DNA and to a lot of people's DNA out there, I know, just in terms of, we will fight and fight and fight until we're the last man standing. What is the best workout song on the soundtrack? That's tough, man. That's like, hey, which one of these kids is your favorite kid? Like, that's what it's like. Each song that I have picked has its own special intention and its own special inspiration. So for example, Soul Man by Blues Brothers, right? So the song came out in the 70s. It's just, with these guys, Belushi and Aykroyd sang that song. Like, yes, it was made into a movie, and yes, it's a fun song, but the energy of which they sing this song is so, it gets us pumped up while training. It's also like Straight Out the Gate by Tech Nine. His first line is, yes, I'm a number one freak in nature, the pen is gonna heat the paper. It gets you going. Then you hear Disturbed, like just that Disturbed song, Down with the Sickness. It makes you wanna just run through, or maybe I'm talking about me, it makes me run through a wall. The first song I play when entering the Iron Paradise is a real famous Chuck Berry song called My Ding-a-Ling. It's awesome. You ever heard it? It's true, it's a true story. When I was a little bitty boy, my grandmother gave me a sweet little toy. Silver bells hanging on a string, yeah. She told me it was my ding-ling. No, I'm only kidding. I gotta answer that properly. The first song I usually play, there is not a first song that I usually play. Every time I walk in the Iron Paradise, it's always something different. But it's funny you ask that, I will pick one particular song. The moment I walk in, I'll already have it selected, that I play just to get me going. And it could be a Tech Nine song, Strange Music. It could be a Bruno Mars track. It could be a Disturbed. We get crazy in the Iron Paradise. It's a very, very special place. It's a religious experience. I think thematically, something like Be Like No One, I like a lot. And I feel like when you look historically of the guys who have made it in the world of pro wrestling from the past, right? You name whatever decade it is, right? You could go back in the 50s when it was WWF, WWW, yeah, three W's and an F, 50s, 60s, 70s, right, all the way to today. When you look in the past, and men and women who have really exceeded and really breaking through, they have that quality about them that they're gonna blaze a new trail and be like no one. And you know, what I like about this is I came from a different era, right, an attitude era, right? So WWE, it's always cyclical. And right now, I feel like WWE is really on an uptick from what I'm seeing, everything with the talent in the WWE, NXT too. So I think that this theme is the perfect fit for a lot of the guys and the girls who are there now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Dwayne Johnson here, and I have personally curated the music for, you know, they give me all this stuff to say, and I just got to pull this out. I'm supposed to say, here's what I'm supposed to say. Hey, guys, this is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because that's important that I add The Rock in there, and I personally curated the WWE 2K18 soundtrack, okay? Then it goes on, check out the soundtrack now. Now is in capital letters, so it's very important you do it now. Streaming on Apple Music, who Apple is our wonderful partners. Check out the soundtrack now, Apple Music, and when WWE 2K drops for early access on October 13th. So it's all right there, and I'm supposed to say it. So here's what I do with that. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm telling you right now, get ready, because this soundtrack is banging. And just like one of the tracks I picked, and it's one of the tracks that I play right before I walk in and I train in the Eye in Paradise, because the boys in the hood are always hard. You come talking the trash, we'll pull your guard. And I'm gonna get up and watch. I do this cool thing with a chair just like that.